punish. Princess Olga Romanov gave cruel knockout on Meghan and Harry over their dirty action to Queen. Princess Olga Romanov once issued a blunt take on Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, as she compared the couple to the Queen in a throwback interview. Olga, 71, is a Russian princess and descendant of the House of Romanov. She is Queen Elizabeth II's cousin and is also related to Her Majesty's late husband, Prince Philip. The London-born aristocrat, who married Thomas Matthew in 1975, separated from her husband in 1989. Her great-uncles are Nicholas II, who was the last Tsar, and his family were murdered by the Bolsheviks in 1918, ending the 300-year-old Romanov dynasty. Her father, Prince Andrei Alexandrovich of Russia, was Nicholas' oldest nephew, who fled from Russia in 1918 to France, finally settling in England. Despite the Russian royal family's rule ending more than a century ago, Olga still refers to herself as a princess. Olga, who lives in a 13th-century home in Kent, has gone on to forge something of a reality TV career. She has starred in Australian Princesses, Royal House of Windsor and Keeping Up with the Aristocrats. Her latest on-screen appearance comes this morning on Love Your Weekend with Alan Titchmarsh. The nation's favourite gardener will interview the princess about her fascinating life as a royal. Alan will also be joined by actors Nancy Carroll and Robert Daws, while the Shetland Pony Grand National also comes to Manor Farm. Olga is known for being an opinionated, colourful character and has even waded into the debate around Meghan Markle and Prince Harry's royal exit. In May last year, the princess gave her blunt take on the Duke and Duchess of Sussex's famous decision to step back from their royal roles. The princess was grilled on the subject by Alexander Armstrong for ITV's one-off special, The Queen and Her Cousins. The pointless presenter asked her, "Is there still a fairy story thing that attaches to royalty, do you think?" Speaking while driving to Norfolk with Alexander, Olga replied, "Well, yes and no. It all depends on how many times they tell you about their problems on television, which I'm afraid I'm not very keen on." Alexander asked her for her view on Meghan and Harry, to which she shook her head and said, "Not great." She added, "I mean, the Queen's never sat there and said anything that makes her miserable, has she? She's always got on with it. People often wonder what it would be like to go to Buckingham Palace and have the run of the place. But how would you react if while you were there, you bumped into the Queen herself?" Well, Prince Harry previously shared what it's like to run into Her Majesty when you're a guest in her house, and his reaction is very surprising. In a clip from a 2018 documentary about the Queen's role as head of the Commonwealth, Harry joked about feeling a sense of panic whenever he bumped into his grandmother in the hallways of Buckingham Palace. In the HBO documentary, Queen of the World, Harry is shown addressing a group of hospitality professionals from the Caribbean who are staying at the palace. The prince offers the group some advice and went on to reveal that even he still panics when he sees the Queen, despite being related to her. He said, "You guys have spent way more time in Buckingham Palace than I ever have, and you've only been here 2 weeks. Have you bumped into the Queen yet? If you suddenly bump into her in the corridor, don't panic. I know you will. We all do." The pressure likely came from his thinking of the Queen as his boss, which he has also previously discussed. During the BBC's Elizabeth at 90 tribute documentary, which aired in 2016, he explained how it's difficult to just think of the monarch as his gran. The most she ever did was that Annus Horribilis, which I thought was wonderful. I think a bit of mystique and all that is a very good thing. The princess referred to the Queen's famous Annus Horribilis speech, which she gave in 1992. During the memorable speech, Her Majesty said, "1992 is not a year on which I shall look back with undiluted pleasure.